Alright, so the 1.2 update has just gone live, and I'm making this video pretty quick because there's some significant quality of life changes I want to go over. The most important one is the tuning changes. Now, I made a video 2 days ago saying that diamond shells and gold shells were coming, a way that you can basically get gear that guarantees and biases tuning. You can actually salvage old gear and get them, but they will be relative to the tier of that gear. So as you can see, this is a tier 61 gold inlay. And as you can see, this is the rainbow one, the diamond one that I was talking about. It's, again, relative to the gear. So these are only tier 61 tunings. And I salvaged old gear for this. This is a purple one. So they all three exist, which is really cool. Not only that, we got another significant quality of life change this update. So if you go to any piece of gear you have, we'll go to my insane roll. Check this roll out. Holy. We got a momentum, critical rate, execution, and battle strike attack. I only used gold stones on this too. I didn't use any rainbow because, as you can see, they've now added the bar, which indicates that you got the max attunement. So if you want to use rainbow stones, if you got them, they're tier dependent, then you can max out a stat, which is quite cool. But they've added another significant quality of life change. Gear is now multi-purpose for both PvE and PvP. So as you can see at the bottom here, you can now add a universal tuning affix, which is for PvE, and you can add your PvP one in as well. Now, there's something I want to mention. The update has just gone live, and it's brought a slew of bugs, and that includes this UI not working properly for the double attunement here. So you're supposed to be able to have both a PvP and PvE attunement active, and you'll be able to switch between them with a little toggle. And yeah, that's in the game right now, but it's bugged, which is kind of annoying because I would really like to be able to multi-purpose my gear, but I'm assuming the devs will fix that probably over the next week. I'm not necessarily in a hurry for it. So that's a really nice quality of life change to have. On top of that, on top of the shells, we also now have better gear sets. Like, this is really cool. This is probably one of the best gear set systems I've ever seen in a game. So not only can you name it, you can do all your stuff that you could do pre-patch, you can now give different keybinds to different builds. This is a pretty cool quality of life change, especially if you have a different playstyle for different builds or a different key setup. You can do that. You can go crazy, and now you can also add auto switch settings in, which means you can toggle onto certain gear sets for certain content. So for sword trials and PvE content, you can instantly put on like a PvE set. Then you could just have your PvP set on. I believe PvP has a switch as well, but these are general switches in here. If you go down to Wandering Past in Arena, you can, I believe, put a gear set in here as well. Yep, so you can pick a build in here that'll auto switch for PvP, which is another really cool feature. And there's just I'm probably even scratching the surface on the amount of quality of life changes we got this update. The shells being one of the big ones. I know that was a big thing, and I knew it was coming. And I got called a liar by a few people in my previous post, which was kind of a shame. But anyway, they're here. You can see that they're literally here in my inventory. On top of that, we also got the GVG, which happens in the weekend. I'll have a bigger video breaking down GVG when we get our first unranked weekend, which I believe is next weekend. But we currently have the GVG techniques. These are basically buffs that are going to help you in GVG. They have caps at the end of the season. I should have made a video about this sooner, but there's actually these cost resources, right? Like these cost jade that you get, the wonder jade that you get from participating in guild activities. I should have made a video sooner about holding on to these. That's why I have so much myself, because I knew to hold on to these. That's my mistake for not making a video, because I hope you still have some of these if you're a PvP player, because you'll want to upgrade all of these, as these will give pretty decent buffs in GVG. There's ones for each of your pass. There's even a unique ability that you will get. So for example, Nameless Sword here, you get this unique ability where you grant a shield to nearby enemies, which is pretty interesting. I think that's kind of cool. There's also one for, Strategic Sword, Heaven Quaker, all the other weapons. They all have a unique set of abilities and conditionals that you can get specifically for GVG, which is really, really cool. Yeah, that's, I think, pretty neat in itself. there's so many more quality of life changes that I've probably just completely forgotten about. They've added a new, I believe, shop screen somewhere here. If you go offers, then yeah, must buy list. So you can now, there's some sort of new dream tint kit. I actually have no idea what some of these things are. But this is where you can also now use your fiery, what's it called again? Your fiery hearts. This can be exchanged in the shop. The easier way to go here is just go develop, and then you go to your fiery echoes, legendary gear exchange. In here, there's basically 3 different things you can buy. One being a legendary guaranteed gold tuning materials. These act the same way as the gold shells do, which pretty cool. And you can only get 6 of these a week. I think it's worth buying. They're only 10 fiery echoes each. You can also get 3 legendary select boxes. So if you've been super bad with RNG, you haven't got any legendary weapon select boxes, this is the way you're going to be able to fill in those slots that you don't get each week, and they cost 36 each. I also mentioned this in my last video, so this is really nice to have as well. On top of that, you could buy some more tuning stones if you need them. So that's one of the other cool additions I've had in here. Again, I did mention that this stuff was coming in my previous video. But this is just, again, it feels like I'm missing so much, because there really is a lot of quality of life in this update. Those gear set changes, attunement changes, and tuning stone changes being the biggest 3, I would say. On top of that, we have got new quest lines, and they give lingering melodies too. So if you want free gacha tickets, I believe the new main story quest chapter doesn't release for another few days. I think it's either the 12th or the 16th. I can't remember. The Jianghu Games, which is like the Olympic Games of the Wushu Olympic Games event, doesn't begin for a little bit either. But yeah, this is pretty cool in itself. And yeah, salvage your old gear. If salvage gear you don't want to get, you know, the tuning stones. I don't know how rare the rainbow tuning shells are, but they are rare. This is only a tier 61 one as well, and that was as hard as it was to get it. So yeah. But that's pretty much all I want to talk about in today's video. A lot of significant quality of life changes, bunch of PvP balance changes, the Quaken's Lock, or whatever it's called, the fun button, as you might know on the Nameless Spear, got nerfed to, I believe, 180 second cooldown from 60 seconds. So that's quite a significant nerf there, which is good. Twin Blades got, I believe, a 20% damage buff to one of its abilities. And there's a few other ones in there I can't remember off the top of my head, but really nice to see, really nice to have these changes, especially heading into the GVG season. There's also a really cool title you can get now if you do your Abyss no-hits, which is actually now incentivized me to go and get my Abyss challenges done and start doing those and taking them seriously, because you can get a pretty dope title for it. So not only does this actually look dope in itself, it has a number top right, depending on how many no-hit Abyss challenges you've done. As you can see, count increases each one time. I believe there's like 14 or so bosses you can do right now. There might be more, actually. And you can flex that number in a title, which I think is pretty cool. There's some other cool titles you can get as well. So you've got Discipleship titles, you've got Supreme Martial Artist titles. And I think this is quite cool that they've added some of these in here. This one looks quite cool. This hero title can be attained. But yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff they've added, a bunch of cool quality of life stuff they've added. Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the coolest things is now that we have proper tuning bias, it's just a lot better for getting gear that you want. Again, as you can see, that roll I got with the disc is kind of insane. Momentum, crit rate, bell strike, and execution, that is insanely strong, but we did get shafted on the arena achievement, as you can see. And again, that bug, we can't add our final PvE achievement in yet. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. We're just getting started. GVG is soon. I'll have full breakdown videos on GVG. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.